The goosebumpometer is turned on. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Here on YouTube, I do reactions and vocal breakdowns of some of the most incredible artists on the planet. And I'm fortunate to have a wonderful audience, a wonderful community of people who always give me suggestions. And one artist that I was completely unaware of when I started this content creation journey was Dimash. And if you've clicked on this video as a Dimash fan, thanks for coming. Welcome to the channel. If you've never heard of Dimash either, you're in for an absolute treat. So if I could sum him up very quickly, an incredible artist, can do many genres, has a ridiculous range, and is just a very dedicated and hardworking vocalist. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I think we should go right into the video. This is Au fond du temple saint from The Pearl Fishers by Bizet, and he's singing with another absolute legend in the industry, and that is Placido Domingo. And if you don't know who Domingo is, he's one of the greatest operatic tenors of all time. And on top of that, he was one of the 3 tenors. This is a baritone tenor duet. Dimash will be singing the tenor part with Domingo singing the baritone part. If you're new to classical music and opera, this is a great first step for you. I hope you enjoy. And I hope I do too. I've been holding off on watching this video because I wanted to give you a live reaction. Shout out to my student Bobby who recommended this. Let's dive right in. Okay, we've had the opening phrase, and Dimash has already convinced me that he could have had an incredibly successful operatic career if he wanted to. And here's the thing, this is Domingo. Domingo is a conductor, Domingo is a teacher and a coach, and has been performing for decades in the operatic world. He's not going to sing with Dimash if he doesn't think Dimash can do it. And to be completely honest, about a year ago when I started seeing Dimash's name in my comment section, I was a little skeptical because, you know, when someone's that famous, sometimes it's for their looks or sometimes it's for, I don't know, they've got a lot of money or whatever, and it's not really about the actual singing or about the music. And Dimash really proved me wrong. My skepticism quickly was washed away within a few seconds. So I really respect his talent. And Domingo's not going to sing with Dimash if he doesn't think that he's talented. Let's go back and listen to the way he sings Una fama pare. It's a beautiful legato sound. Legato means smooth in Italian, and we want that, especially in operatic singing. Always legato, always beautiful. Let's listen to that one more time. The goosebumpometer is turned on. I like this a lot, and I think this is good for the industry of opera, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Domingo is a huge name in the operatic community, and if you've never heard him sing before, go on YouTube. Well, you're on YouTube, but after this video, look up Domingo, listen to some of his performances from when he was in his 30s, 40s, 50s. Incredible, incredible artist. And the fact that he's still singing at this time of his life, I don't know how old he is, but that is a testament to the technique that he sings with. If you're a Dimash fan, I'm excited for you because Dimash also has very good technique, which means he'll be singing for a long time. And if you're a Domingo fan, this is incredibly exciting too because he's singing with a younger artist. This is good. And finally, if you're an opera fan, this is also very good because we're bringing in a new artist like Dimash who brings a very large audience and introducing them to the world of opera that they may not have been exposed to before. So the opera world needs to experience new things. It needs to change a bit, right? We need something different because we need people to go to the theater and watch this live. What an even vibrato. This is good. Very, very good singing. Great technique all around. We're going to hear Domingo in just a second, but we can tell when there's good technique because the wave of the vibrato is actually even. Have you ever heard a singer before where the vibrato is like really shaky, or maybe it starts and then it stops and starts and stops? Dimash doesn't have that. Domingo doesn't have that. This is good singing. Woo! Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Nice. Wow. Teared up a little bit. That's okay. Beautiful high A flat by Dimash there. Fantastic. I love the way that their voices mesh together. For those of you who are possibly new to Domingo, Domingo is someone who was a tenor his entire career and still is a tenor, will always be a tenor, but in his older age is starting to sing repertoire that is a little bit lower. You can probably make a guess as to why. A lot of wear and tear on the voice over the decades. High singing, high intensity singing, and a lot of it. But the fact that he's still singing now tells me that his technique was impeccable. Just before we go back, I want to give you a little bit of context. The two characters here are Nadir, a fisherman, and Zurga, the head fisherman. Nadir and Zurga are long-lost friends. And here the two characters are reminiscing about their old life and talking about how they almost lost their friendship over a beautiful woman. But they renounced their love for this woman and swore to be faithful to each other. Best friends forever. Balance is so nice here, and what I'm really respecting about Dimash right now is that he's not overshadowing Domingo. So I've sung this duet many times, and there were a few times in particular where the tenor wanted to outshine me a little bit. And it's easy to do, to be completely fair, because it's a lot higher, and those higher frequencies are often sung louder, and my voice as the baritone can only go so loud. So it's kind of a competition between the two voices if you're not really on the same page. So what I do appreciate about Dimash right now is he's stepping back from the microphone because he realizes that his sound is a bit bigger at this moment, higher in his voice, and he's letting Domingo balance it out nicely. So I'm not hearing one voice over the other. It's a nice balance. I always found it difficult in these orchestral concert settings to get into the character. You might be sitting in the green room for a while, waiting off stage. You sing one piece and you don't sing again for another hour, but they're doing a good job of being in character as much as they can. You can see them looking at each other, showing some expression on their faces. And I have to imagine that Domingo has performed this role and sung this duet hundreds of times, if not thousands. And the concert is called Virtuoso, which is a classical music talent show with a unique format focusing on discovering young classical talent. Well, a lot of talent here, for sure. And I don't know if either of them need to be discovered, but it doesn't matter because somebody filmed this and posted it on YouTube, so thanks. Yes. Is there a panel of judges there? I really don't know much about what this concert was. Maybe you can let me know in the comments, what was this? I'm assuming these two weren't being judged, because how can you really judge that? What I'm doing is just breaking down what they're doing well, which is a lot. There's a moment that I really liked here where Domingo was looking at Dimash for a cutoff, and I'm assuming the conductor, who was off screen at this point, was doing the same thing. So they were actually letting Dimash lead the cutoffs and lead the sort of final cadence. Okay, watch this. This is sort of the final moment of the duet, the final da-dee-dum-dum. We could call that maybe the final cadence. And Domingo is going to watch Dimash for the cutoff, and the conductor probably is on the other side as well. So let's just watch. Watch Domingo. Beautiful. So Domingo was sort of looking to the left at Dimash and at the conductor. That's why, if you look closely, the conductor is level with the performers. So the conductor can look at the corner of his eye and see what the performers are doing, because you never know what the performers are going to do, right? So he can rein in the orchestra. They look at him, conductor looks at them, and there are moments where the conductor's sort of going to take over and give cutoffs and maybe move the tempo a bit. And it's up to the performers, sorry, the two soloists, everybody's performing. It's up to the soloists to watch the conductor And then other times it's up to the conductor to watch the soloist. So it's a relationship, right? It's communication through this entire duet. And that's what keeps it all together. And I've seen comments on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram where people are like, what even is the point of the conductor? Like, why do we even do that? It's to keep everybody in time, to give the right cutoffs, etc., etc. If you didn't have a conductor, it would be a sloppy mess where maybe, sure, you could perform the piece and kind of do it cohesively, but the cutoffs would be so sloppy and the phrasing and the tempi would be terrible. We cannot do it without a conductor. And when you have two extremely musical soloists singing music by a composer like Bizet, it's going to be a work of art just like this. What I love about Dimash is that he works hard, he's dedicated to his craft, and he's not afraid to go outside of his comfort zone. What I'd like for you to do is let me know in the comments, and maybe you can send me some links as well. Has Dimash done a lot of classical music? He has sort of a classical singing style, but has he done a lot of classical music? If not, then he's really stepping out of his comfort zone here, and I respect him for that. Not enough artists are willing to go across genre and try different things, and Dimash clearly is not afraid of that. And I feel like I haven't said enough about Domingo, but he's one of the greatest tenors of all time. He's transitioned now into conducting, so now he's sharing his musical abilities with orchestras, leading different soloists. He does a competition that he does every year for young artists called Operalia, so he's sharing his wisdom and his experience, and I'm sure he shared a thing or two with Dimash during this experience. Blown away, inspired, I cried a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. If you did, it's okay. Men cry too. We need to cry. I need to have a good cry every now and then. Dimash, Domingo, two artists that I never really saw collaborating, but oh my gosh, I'm so glad that they did. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comments section below. If there's more Dimash, more Domingo, more opera, any other videos that you want me to react to, please put them in the comments section below. I have other Dimash videos on my channel. Go check those out. And if you want bonus content, exclusive content from me, make sure you subscribe to my Patreon. That's it. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Love you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.